Thanks for joining us on the John Mendola Show. We are driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers. Well, the start of MAC football, Wilkes University, Trey Brown in his first year. And, Coach, we're here. Time flies since the day you're hired. It's camp time for the Colonels. Tell us about your excitement right now.
Well, I'll tell you, this time of year, John, it's funny. I probably share the same sentiments as a lot of coaches, around the country. I know some of the bigger schools are getting ready to go and have started up, the Division I's and 1AA's. And, I'll talk with my buddies that are coaching at those schools or text with them or whatever. I know they're really excited. And then indirectly, that makes me excited. So it's always a great time of year. Had a good summer. Was able to relax a little bit, get some planning done with the kids not all on campus, and just really dig in. So I'm excited to get back at it. I'm really excited to see the kids. I haven't seen a lot of the guys since, the second week of May. And since I was only there a short period, about 3 or 4 months before they all took off, I'm really excited to get them back on campus and get this thing going.
Well, Trey, not only do you have to make sure the kids and you are on the same page, but, hey, you have a coaching staff that you really didn't know a whole lot about before you got to Wilkes University. There's a couple of changes there, but tell us about making sure you guys are all bonding out and making sure that you're all doing the right thing there for the Colonels. Tell us about how that transition was.
Yeah, I'll tell you, it's been really good, John. It really has. I came into it with I really didn't have any opinions either way. I didn't know how smooth it would really go. I hoped it would be smooth, but it wouldn't have shocked me either way. I know there's good coaches there, guys that have been there for a while, guys that really, really like Wilkes, and I was excited to get to know them and have them help me a little bit on how the campus works and what goes on and the flow of things. And then I was also hopeful that I'd have a chance to bring in a handful of guys myself if need be. And the two things have really come together nicely. We have 4 guys that'll be on staff that have been there for some time, and were part of the previous staff. And then I'm new. And then we have 4 other new guys coming on board. My defensive coordinator is a guy named Cole Glennon, who I worked with for a year at Muhlenberg. He's been at Villanova the last 2 years. And then I hired an intern and a couple part-time coaches because those jobs were open, and they came aboard. So we've got a real nice mix of, in my opinion, nice mix of guys that have been there and they know how Wilkes operates, and then some new guys like myself. So it's good. It's an area I was hoping we'd get to, John. I just didn't know how soon, and I wasn't going to force it. It wasn't a matter of when I took the job, I wasn't interested in bringing in 8 or 9 of my own guys. I had no interest in doing that at all. I really, really liked some of the guys on staff, and we've really bonded together, so that was great. I just hope at some point we could get some new faces in there and kind of go from there, and it's worked out that way so far, so it's been good.
Wilkes University football is underway. The MAC, of course, getting ready. And Coach, when you look ahead at the schedule, obviously there's some great games along the way, and every week's a challenge. But getting through camp, and everybody usually starts over 100 players, and then things kind of work their way out, and at the end you wind up with a different number than that. But you want to, I'm sure, get through camp healthy and make sure that you're putting the best foot forward and get your best players on the field.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll probably come into camp, John, with roughly 115 to 120 kids or so. And then my hope is to get through camp with all of them healthy and hopefully all of them loving football as much as I love football. And then we get a chance to get them in the classroom, and hopefully they see the education piece of it, one of the main reasons, if not the main reason, that they're attending Wilkes. And along the way, it is hard. It's delicate in that you want to toughen your team. You want to evaluate them. You want to see where you're at, but you also don't want guys to get hurt. And it's really a slippery slope. I think for this year, with it being my first year and still trying to grab onto the identity of what we're all about, we'll have a pretty spirited camp. There's no doubt about it. I mean, we'll be pretty physical. We're going to demand a lot, and I think we really need to uncover, a few things as far as what we're all about. The spring was great, but we have no pads on in the spring. You can't do any organized team type activities where you're blocking anybody or anything like that. So it's really a chance to work on your skills, but you don't get to work on the toughness quotient. And we tried to do a little bit of that with the conditioning portion, of camp. But the reality is, until you get the pads on, you never really know where you're at. It's a tough man's sport. There's no doubt about it. So I'm excited to see that as well.
Trey, when game day comes around, you will be calling the plays on the offensive end?
I will. Yep.
Well, that'll be exciting, I'm sure, for the Colonels that know that you've had a lot of success on the offensive end as a coordinator and coaching some different positions on the offensive end as well. And we're looking forward to see what the Colonels could do this year. And, Coach, I'm sure we're going to talk to you as the season gets underway. One of these Saturday mornings right before a game, we'll get you on the horn, okay?
Absolutely. I always enjoy it, John. I'm always available. Thanks for all the support out there.
Trey Brown, the head coach of Wilkes University Football, new era underway. We'll see the Colonels in 2014 here on the John Mendola Show, driven by McCarthy Tire and Automotive Centers.